This feels weird. It's one of my free 50-cent books I got at Graham Cracker Comics. I got it this past week. You go in there on a Wednesday, you get 3 free 50-cent books. How can you pass it up, man? How can you pass it up? You never know what you're going to find. And this was interesting because it's actually like a pulp short story accompanied by some appropriately pulpy art. I appreciate it. The story itself, I thought, felt kind of rough. I don't know if this is drawn from one of the original... Oh, you know what? Hold on, I got the Wikipedia page for this character open because I have another book for the Spider, which I think is also from Moonstone, but it's a traditional comic. I skimmed it. I didn't really read it that much. But this is prose with a picture. So I was like, okay, I got to know more about this guy. The Spider was created in 1933 by... Sorry, I think I just hit the cable. 1933 by Harry Steger at Popular Publications as direct competition to Street and Smith Publications' The Shadow. The Spider was millionaire playboy Richard Whitworth, who had served as a major in World War I and was living in New York City, unaffected by the financial deprivations of the Great Depression. The ninth pulp has him as the last surviving member of a rich family. Anyway, so he's like the Shadow. The Phantom's kind of similar. The Spider like marked his victims so that nobody else would be blamed for his killings, which is, I think, something that the Phantom does because the Phantom has his signet ring. So that's what's going on here with this character. And the story is it feels very 1930s the way it's written. The language choices, is very pulpy writing. 3 whirling objects followed, and this time there was no place to go. Thudding steel struck his heaving chest, and stumbling as he ran, the Spider went down. Oh, look, it's even in italics, so you know it's him. Police whistles shrieked madly. Wentworth heard them not. When he awoke, Richard Wentworth lay in the master bedchamber of his penthouse apartment. Jackson and Ram Singh were at his side, faces somber. "Got you out of there before the police arrived, sir," Jackson said. "Truly," echoed Ram Singh. "Many foes we slew, none we captured, however. To do so would be to leave you to the lions of the law, and that we cannot do." Super pulpy. I have to admit, there were a few places where my eyes kind of glazed over the actual writing, but it was very easy to kind of get the gist of what was going on. If you've read any of this kind of fiction, you know exactly what you're in for. And again, my only question is whether this is... well, we just went all the way to the back of the book after the... all the way to the back of the book after the story was over. But, like, this is kind of interesting. Like, okay, so it's $3.25 if I had bought it new. Back in, I think, 2009 is the copyright date in the cover. Here, I should do this anyway so you can see the people involved. Story by Will Murray. So, I don't think Will Murray was the actual author. Hold on, I got the Wikipedia page open here. Reginald Thomas, Maitland Scott, and Norvell W. Page. So, and they did a couple serials too. That's interesting. Never seen them before. In fact, that other Spider book was the first time I even heard of this character. You know? And now I see. I don't know. I kind of liked it because it was something different. But I don't really know that I liked it. You know? It was different, and I kind of liked the novelty of it, but the writing in here didn't do a whole lot for me. Now, it says story by somebody. So I guess Will Murray is responsible for this writing? Okay, I searched the Wikipedia page for his name, and his name shows up for August 2018 as someone who launched the Wild Adventures of the Spider book series. First issue was written by Will Murray. Okay. Well, I can say the writing feels pretty true to genre, pretty true to the age. Not necessarily my favorite kind of writing. The kind of pulpy writing I like is best exemplified by Michael Stackpole or Timothy Zahn, where it's very in this kind of tradition, but the genre is not, vigilante detective fiction in the 30s. Still, I really like this, the novelty. Some nice pieces of art. They're not great. Like, if you take this and you look at it and you start looking at it and you think, it looks a little off. Yeah, you're right. The rope looks completely out of place. But look at this pose. What a dynamic angle. Isn't this insane? Like, that's the thing I like about the art in this, is the art's never boring, and it can't be. It can't be. In this format, the art has to be crazy. This is off kilter. Look at this crazy perspective. It's awesome. It's awesome. They call this wide vision. I guess you can see why. I gotta say, if you see this in a 50-cent bin, and this kind of fiction is at all your jam, this should be like a no-brain pickup. Just go ahead, grab it. I don't know how many there are in this series. I think I saw on Wikipedia or something, there were 6 of these. Plus the other series that's like a real comic book. I'm looking over here. When I went down to Will Murray's name, it got me down to right above the comic book, so I'm looking over here. Eclipse Comics. Most of the books are new series installments, or more like illustrated prose stories. Oh, but it doesn't say how many. Okay, well, there can't be that many of these, man. There really can't be. And if you see one, check her out. For 50 cents, it's really hard to go wrong. And I think this, all that prose, definitely worth 50 cents. You all have a great day. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. This is a weird thing from the 50-cent bin. 50-cent oddity. There we go. There we go.